This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Táisí Vigéisteach le Gaelin, your favourite bilingual podcast with Ciarán, Cian and Cathal is a Rasharísh.
Exploring the worst, weird and wonderful of Gná Hahi an Tail.
Na rudí is massa is ashtí agus is ainty of life as we know it.
Putting the gay in Gaelga gach seachtain.
Meet your new gay besties.
Hello, August Fulcher Ash Hig Gaelin Lumsa Cathal.
I'm Ciarán.
Agus is Misha Cian.
Well, lads, tá me on broad Wilchilin, and that can only mean one thing. Pride is upon us. The Ryanair flights home from London on Monday were as full as the
Ryanair,
faggots on
excuse
them.
you. We were Aer Lingus.
I wouldn't know.
You missed my joke. I said it was as full as the faggots on board. But yes, the one weekend of the year that thousands of homosexuals descend on Brockwell Park in South London to witness some of the most iconic music acts attempt to reignite their career with the best people they know how,
Jesus,
the
you're on
gays.
one.
Agus, ní raibh mé ann, agus bhí aid on down I was very jealous. I knew two icons who were there. Lads, Cadé Martoshev, how are you? How was
Sorry,
it?
I can't. Before we just seen.
Yeah, we
this-
just entered the studio, right? And as we were doing our mic check, I get a notification. Trixie Mattel has shared your story, and I looked, and it's a video I've recorded of her, which is actually a really cunty video, by the way.
is.
Good for me.
No
But it's
waste.
her walking up and down the catwalk, wasteless, right, with the microphone in her hand. It was before she broke the whole thing.
Yeah.
But at the end, the very end of the clip, I like come down to Cian's face and he just goes, "Love her," like mouths the words to it. But she's reshared it. But we are
I am
currently on
fizzing.
Trixie Mattel's story. I'm going to pass the fuck out. Oh my god!
I am fizzing.
It literally just happened.
So what was that? Was that just her kind of set?
Yeah, so
She did
her,
a
her
DJ
thing
set,
now
yeah.
is where she does a DJ set and she basically just has a mic in her hand and she'll have like dancers in front of
Yeah.
her or like backing dancers or whatever. And every couple of minutes she'll go, "Dance, you faggots!"
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
everyone
like
goes-
to Jakarta
Yeah.
at Pride, Mother Block Party.
Exactly.
Bleach catcha.
Yeah. Oh, and Bleach Gotcha, sorry.
But yeah, she basically
it wasn't last week.
She just that's her thing, is that it's just kind of like ad-libbing in the middle of this. Like the visuals for that were so good. Like they were like all over this. It's her basically walking as like a Barbie doll kind of thing. And it was so
I
good.
love her. I was so drunk and otherwise on Dare Shock Near Fod. I don't
Oh my
remember
God,
a lot
Fiona
of
Crack
it.
again, like,
but the
yeah.
Nafis shot, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that was class. Oh, it was so good.
Who else was like top of the bill? Who did
Well,
you
Sailor Sisters.
Yeah, they were the highlight. But I also want to give a little shout out to a guy called Niall, right, who came up to us when we were.
Was I there?
Yes, you were talking to his friend. No, you were talking to his friend. So we were watching, I think it was just after Alexandra Burke, right?
Galore.
And these guys came up to us and they were chatting away to us. And he came up and he was like, "Oh, do you go?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, where are you?" Blah, blah. And then I was like chatting away. And then he was like, "I'm learning Irish again. I'm trying to like get better at it, blah, 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 you know, and I'm just really nervous about practicing." And I was like, "Oh, well, myself and Cian have a podcast and, you know, to go practice, blah, blah, blah." And then he was like, "No, I know, I listened to it. I was listening to it." Like,
Clearly that was why he came
that's
over.
why
and
he came over
talked.
and said, "Do you go itch?" But he like pulled his phone out and he was like, "I was listening to you on the flight over." He's from the north.
Oh my
I didn't get what
God,
county.
Niall.
And
Niall.
he was halfway through last week's episode and I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cute."
Now, are you sure he didn't just go open Spotify when he's seen us, quickly move it to the halfway mark, and then be like, "Oh, I'm a listener"?
Even that is like
That's a view.
I respect that as well as
Mitchell
an
Mitchell
A
Ash.
star is an A star is an A star. So I'm like,
Was
that's
he?
it.
Who was he? Did I talk to him?
You were talking to his friend.
Was his friend hot?
I didn't.
Would I find him hot?
Oh, come here, that's a fucking low bar. No, I don't remember because I was
Mishachirid.
I was just off the back of Shaking My Puss to Bad Boys by Alexandra Burke.
It was
She
so
like
good.
class, like
Her outfit as well. Like, she looks great. Oh, I just feel like Hoopla is such a gorgeous start to Pride Month. Because for Pride Month Uranus, I'm Níos Cuachtaí, I feel powerful. I'm lifting to me or fad. It's just such a good time to be alive.
Not for the fucking bank balance though.
Oh, honey. €30 for 2 cans of fucking mixer
Like,
or
oh,
seltzer,
no.
whatever.
Vichy like
Duchrechte.
costas. Like,
Really?
it's like everything is like you walk in. The tickets aren't so bad.
You walk in and they're like €30.
Yeah, they
30 pounds.
like you can only get when you're buying your drinks. They do them in doubles, so it's 25 mils or 50 mils over there. Fucking Egypt spritz.
Okay, yeah.
But like,
They're at it again.
you're not even getting a full drink, right? And it's £8 for like it's single or double measure, and then you have to get the mixer set. Like it ended up every time like a round of 2 drinks was like €30, and they're in these little small
£30.
cups.
So it's like 30
Yeah. and we were going up, and like most of them, it gets spilled all over you. There's actually the
Yeah.
photo. We took about 4 photos the whole weekend. I was pulling together my photo dump this morning.
Yeah.
From
We were too busy living in the
I
moment.
was just like, where are these boys?
Actually,
I
though,
was like,
Vimer.
Yeah.
oh,
Now,
it's
actually were.
Nero, like, signal Gwen or Kirby, really.
No.
Okay,
So we
yeah.
would have been fucked if we got lost. So we didn't have time for photo shoots. We all had to stick together.
Yeah.
But honestly, we were kind of living in the moment.
We
We
were-
were raw.
like in
trying a new thing.
Nori, I think we spent about 7 minutes together.
Yeah, it
This
was
year
class.
we were together for the full 3 days,
Oh,
and we took
Gotcha.
3 photos.
Yeah.
And you know what? They were good 3.
Yeah,
They
they were
good.
fun. But that photo, the one of the 2 of us and Colin, is taken, and immediately after that, we go to the bathroom, and that fat cunt
Me?
ran through me. No, not you.
I was like,
I'm like, mere Colin. It's neither of us, is it?
No, some fat cunt Ella, right, hurtled through me to the toilet
For a shortcut.
right? And like the 2 drinks went all over me, and I was wearing like that shirt is like a loose kind of a
Sheen.
like a linen-y kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse you. Autograph Marks and Spencer. I
Oh,
don't
wow.
shop. The only thing I get off the Chinese is 3-in-1. All right, all right. The Chinese are the reason I can't fit in my clothes, not where I get them.
Yeah,
Right.
calculator. Did you? But
you're on fire today.
yeah, relax, will you?
Are we're about 25 minutes into the intro.
Yeah, honest to fucking God, I haven't got a word in edgeways. We're talking about coming out, so let's get into it. Woo! Cearglóir Cian chun ábhar na seachtaine a rá an seachtain seo beagmuid ag léin na rudaí is massa, is astí, agus is inti of coming out. Someone get the Spotify
want the
and
world
to
to
know. Sorry, Universal might stop
Diana
us.
Ross.
yeah.
Diana Ross.
Diana
Well,
Ross.
they won't if you sing it.
Sorry, fun fact. Diana Ross, fun fact. Did you know, it's Dócha go bhfuil sé ar ólas agaí, but a gay man wrote that for her about the coming out experience. And she was like, oh, like, will people not think I'm coming out as a lesbian? And he was like, no, that's not what it's about. It's about you going on your solo career after leaving the Golden Girls. What was she in?
Oh, yes.
The Golden
Supremes.
Girls.
Supremes. The Golden Girls.
Fawn Sec. The Golden Girls. Which one of the Golden Girls do you think she was?
Instantly knock her out Shishin Carrot. When she left the Supremes and he was like, no, it's about you going solo. Then she sang it blew up, and then years later he was like, yeah, obviously it's about my coming out experience.
Gotcha.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why you should never trust a gay man.
Tune. Anyway, yes, in you, Tommy the Kind Feet, one of the probably the most hardest things I've had to do in my life, if not the hardest. It's kind of a double-edged sword, I think, because doing it has allowed us to be who we are today. But also, that's not saying there wasn't a few hurdles in the first place. Deuce, Tommy, like I say, Tommy the Kind Feet never the Ismasa. So coming out for me was quite hard, and I told my siblings before I told my parents. Kind of theming in with, I suppose, the time we're at now, Ciarán Lá Dernach done Ortesh for me. So at the end of the Leaving Cert, Gadi on barbecue at our friend's house, Misha August Machupla Ronan. The Ronan Danach, so like Ronan was late to the barbecue, and by this time, vi me like cold, so like I was drunk as a skunk. And I had sat my friends down around in a circle, and I was like, lads, I'm gay. And of course, their reaction was, yeah, we knew that. Congrats and all. Cheers. See you later. But
They're like, don't cry, Carl, your mascara's running.
but like, I thought this was a really big thing. Anyway, they all knew, and that
You
was
gathered
grand.
all your friends dramatically around a fire pit for a big announcement.
And they were like,
I wonder what it is.
they were like, yeah, fully, we knew that one, yeah. Sure, I'd shagged half of them anyway.
Name them.
Name them. Nirev Iseg Ronan. He didn't know that I was gay. Well, he probably did, but I'd never told him. So he arrived, had a few drinks, and then we were heading to town. And Nuravim was a taxi. When we were in the taxi to town, I turned to him and just went, I'm gay. And he was like, what? He was like, what do you mean? And okay, Ronan started to panic, and Nuravim on Clubbiha V on Ruin Squealsha, like the secret was out. Everyone knew. The word had gotten around town that I had told everyone. And Ronan was like coming out to celebrate finishing the Leaving Cert.
That night, sir,
You were like, how do I make this about me?
Right, so you told him at the barbecue he was late, and on the way into town, like
the taxi, you told
the
him.
town crier had ran ahead of the car to be like, extra, read all about
Me and
it.
Ronan had
Gay
gone
boy is gay.
Sonny's a bender.
Cúig muid a bhaile to change into jeans because we were all in shorts or whatever. It was really warm.
Okay.
So we had gone home to change.
You
in
go
a
back
break.
to put your heels on.
Fuck's sake, I'm trying to be nice.
Sorry, Leonard. No,
Anyway, Ronan was like, what the fuck? What do you mean you're gay? All
This is
that,
in the
and other.
taxi.
Yeah.
Oh my,
and
just on Bershagweeb.
Yeah.
And the fucking Tamani taxi. Tamani taxi booked it.
I
It was
know.
so awkward for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't
It was
sound like
definitely
that shit.
our local taxi driver, Divas. Love you, Divas, if you're listening. But when we got to the nightclub, everyone was like, Ronan, geez, Carl's news is great. Like, Carl, this, that, and the other.
Aww.
And Ronan was like, just finished my leaving cert. I want to go out for a few pints. Like, so yeah, I stole his thunder, but
Oh yeah, because he had the whole night of like anyone that was like not just congratulating you on his behalf or whatever, or vice versa, then also had to be like, what do you think? Like,
yeah, it was like, what do you think?
because he immediately becomes your like
cameras are on.
press secretary for the night.
Literally. So yeah, that was kind of my coming out. And it wasn't the nicest way to do it to Ronan, but he woke up the
A
next morning.
drive-by in a taxi.
Yeah, he woke up
Yeah.
the next morning. He was like, so, like, are you, like, gay? I was like, yeah, Ronan. He was like, you kind of fooled me with the girlfriend. And I was like, I don't think so. I was wearing a dress in my
Jesus.
TY.
Ronan must be even less observant than you.
But yeah, that's my coming out story to my brother. I assume there's a lot worse than that.
But that
Yeah, that's
awkward
kind of
next
a nice
morning
one.
is so. The next morning conversation you have with
Yeah.
him is so. I've heard so many friends echo like the well-intentioned parent or cousin or friend or whatever,
Yeah.
sister, brother, and they're asking questions that are just like, you're like, oh God, let the ground swallow me whole.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, Steve, I've got a boyfriend. No.
Yeah.
Have you kissed a boy? That's what I got.
One of my friends, does that mean you watch gay porn?
Yeah, honey. Fuck off.
I
leave me
think
alone.
that's very cute.
That is such a wholesome story.
Yeah, I
if
think that's
was
a really
my-
nice
our day,
coming out story.
Ciarán would have been bet to a pulp
I
outside
think-
100%.
in the
Bro-
Swords car park, whatever car park he loved that much.
Swords!
Whatever it was.
Oh, Crumble Shop.
Crumble shop is at a car park.
Just,
No.
it's giving him Ronan being like, I wish I had known before the lads. You had told
Oh,
all
yeah.
our friends and then told me.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Oh, I was pissed drunk.
Was it? So had you
Also-
intended to come out that night?
I wanted to be done school.
Okay.
So the bullies wouldn't get me.
Geez, you don't just put the pen down.
Yeah.
You hadn't even gotten your results
I
yet. You didn't even
literally-
know if you were making
pen was
a bed
up
of that
his
down.
I finished the chemistry exam at 5 p.m. and I was at the barbecue at 6 like, I'm a homo.
Oh my God. That's dramatic but kind of camp. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Poor
That's,
divas.
no, I
listen.
think in general that's a good coming out story.
We have a couple of our ish story getting in touch as well, Cian,
Yeah.
don't we?
Oh, Forme Kupla gut shock drachty. A few voice notes from RNA story. And I'm really, like, I was like, let me
Unreal.
try
Let's
find
go.
Faith or show. Ciarán Aisha.
Came out to my mum as bisexual when I was in college, and God bless her, she's very old school, very Nigerian. So she was like, that's okay, at least you're not gay. And I was like, oh, girl, well, actually. So I had to get my brother to explain to her what bisexual was. And then she kind of like called me down to the living room after that, because I think I was just like too awkward. I was like to my brother, I was like, oh, can you just tell her what it means? Like, this is real embarrassing now. And she calls me into the living room and she's like, okay, so you have a girlfriend? And I was like, no. And she's like, so you have a boyfriend? And I was like, no. And she's like, what, you want a girlfriend or a boyfriend? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And she's like, well, no, none of them want you. She's like, wow, bisexual and by yourself. But yeah, that's how she accepted me coming out as bi. Shout out her, love her loads. But yeah, bisexual and by myself was her final reaction.
Scotalock. That is a drive-by. Her Nigerian mum. I love first of all, not knowing what bisexual is. It's so good. Aisha.
She got done in.
Yeah.
Like her mom immediately just skipped the support part and went straight to the roast, which I kind of back.
Yeah, no,
Like,
love.
slay.
Scoffle shin.
I think her mom, does her mom think it's like, oh, it was like, oh, you can't get a boyfriend, so you just have to open up the other category.
Yeah.
That's what she's like, come out, no one will come along. You don't need to be bisexual.
Bisexual and by yourself. Get that on a t-shirt.
At least you're not gay is my favourite. I
At
can't.
least you're not gay.
And our-
I got count out on.
Yeah, have you got
Yeah,
another
no,
one?
I have funny ones as well.
No, split them up. So
Okay,
Leonard.
yeah, well, this is from a listener on Instagram, and it says, was an altar server with my boyfriend at the time. The priest walked in on us shifting and told our parents and made us go to confession straight away. Isn't that awful?
He was dating when he was an altar boy.
I'd say like 13 maybe.
Imagine having a boyfriend at 13.
And kissing him in the church.
Camp.
Was that happen? What
Was his
happened?
boyfriend the priest?
They were getting ready. They were putting their robes on. They were like, "Will you have a little smooch?"
You have a little kiki.
Sorry, that's a book. There's a book in that.
Yeah,
Heated rivalry. Give me a minute. Like,
Heated older.
The sacred sacristy.
Another one, my mum caught me smoking a cigarette, so I came out to her as gay so she wouldn't give out to me.
And these massive hosts. Yeah, I like that.
God, if I'd have known that would have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you were chewing the fags all weekend. So he was just in there.
Oh, no.
eating them.
I have a video of you smoking 2 halves of a cigarette and having to put them together because I couldn't light both halves for you at the same time, right? So that he without a lighter cast the first stone.
And my last one, my brother walked into the kitchen when I was making out with a lad at 3 a.m. after a night out. He got water and went back to bed. I thought I was done for. A few months after, my mum asked me about my boyfriend at the time, and he shouted, "You're gay?" He was fully awake, but just didn't look at us.
Oh my God. That's kind of something my brother would do. Like,
Yeah.
he would definitely walk past me because someone had not realised that was happening.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, a few words and like, yeah, just would not have processed it at all.
Cian O'Neill, actually. This is leis beach an furin camogiachta.
I came out by making a lesbian cake and wrote on top, "Congrats at the lesbian." A bit like a gender reveal, but instead a sexuality reveal. And I told my parents I'm allergic to more than one type of nuts. No better way of doing it. Me on road, Honeydew Vicordia.
Oh, bro.
So it's a gorgeous cake that says congrats, it's a lesbian.
Oh my God, a little Vicky sponge with icing on top and congrats, it's a
A
lesbian.
Vicky sponge sounds like another term for like
It
A
does,
lesbian.
Yeah.
That
She's
little
a,
Vicky
she's
sponge.
a bit of a Vicky sponge.
It does.
Shin on Grammar, she said she has a peanut allergy and she was like, yeah, not the only types of peanuts I have to avoid. Or not the only
Excellent.
types of nuts I have to avoid.
Excellent. Do you know what? Can we normalise using cakes to announce more things? Because I think that's a
I've got
great idea.
diabetes.
I'm wrecked today. Just hand someone cookies. I'm wrecked today.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Oh.
Like, that's what you should do instead of business cards. Start handing out cookies. You might have a higher success rate.
Misha.
Bhí siad on the ground for lads. Sheelam Gwil on Town in a Yeag Shin Níos Massive Host as well, like the time after coming out. The awkward questions, the odd behaviour.
The well-intentioned but awkward.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Lord never let me return to that life.
The one that boils my piss, right, is we always knew.
Yeah.
That
I'd
really
say
got
we get that a lot.
honey, like
You,
that.
not so much.
Well, we don't know what he was like when he was a kid. I'm sure he was just as much of a freak
Yeah.
as he is now.
I know, I wasn't really into that gay shit. Like,
You know?
musicals and
Oh, okay.
No, only messing around.
But like,
I know EV.
I find that actually one of the most offensive things to say
Yeah.
to tell like a young queer kid or even someone as they've gotten older, because it almost feels like you weren't in on this big joke that everyone was talking about for years, and also particularly if you were younger and you were really trying your best to be straight
suppress it.
or to suppress it, and then you feel like, are you telling me all those years you knew, you could see I was struggling and you didn't ask me about it, or you didn't try and like solve it,
fair.
or
I
like
didn't think about it that
that's
way.
the older I've gotten, the more I've come to resent that even more.
Oh,
I used to think it
yeah.
was funny, and I still do. I'm like, look, I look at photos back of myself in like little pink cowboy boots and something, and I'm like, okay, fair. Or like my shopping trolley, and I'm like, that's cute and that's fun, and I love that little kid and what he has become. But the we always knew, like the knowing kind of sneering from certain people is like, well, Jesus, you know, if you knew that fucking well, you could have let me know.
You could have came and talked to me like.
Ain't
Well,
team
I
or
was
love?
I was
Go
last to
on.
fucking find out. Like, do you know
Yeah,
what
Michelat. I think Jaime Ra though. I read this thing before and it was like our dish Mahori, Toshid Fos, like doing life for the first time as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we are so informed and educated air on sale atuk because we've lived it. Whereas
Yeah.
they really only started living that as a parent of a gay child really when it was
Yeah.
confirmed.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm sure there's no handbook on how to be a parent to one, but how to be a parent to a gay kid in a society that isn't
Yeah.
ready for it. Like,
no, it's a mixed kind
yeah,
of.
no, Tigum.
It's a dodgy situation, but I find that that's the one that I'm like, oh, the other one. The other one of my older family members, who shall remain nameless, didn't ask me, but apparently had asked once or twice in later years, would he ever get the operation? Right.
A hair transplant.
The circumcision.
No,
People
yeah,
get.
oh, but like obviously just thought that, you know, this
You
is
were
that
trans.
Or did you mean like
No, I
electrical
think she meant you
therapy?
were a train.
But like, yeah, and like thinking that, you know, obviously gay and trans and was all the same thing. And I'm like, that to me is so funny that they skipped that many steps to it. Because like I wouldn't have said like I wasn't presenting in a what traditionally you would have said a trans way. Like it wasn't like I was going, not that you have to be wearing a dress and heels to be trans, but like I wasn't like I was going out wearing women's clothing all the time and like presenting as a female all the time. I was just a camp boy.
With those faggy bangs.
No, come here. I'm not saying I was like either, but like I don't think I presented any of the hallmarks of like a trans kid, but they were just like, oh, he's gay. Or he's gay. He must want to be a girl. Like that's not how that works. Actually.
Agus an raibh aon duine the clan éireach, like was there any other people in your family?
No, and I think that's probably why it was such a experience for me. I have paved the way for the next one because no one knew what to do with it.
Yeah. I think so. Níliscom came fáil go she shut in McCown. I haven't had this thought in years. My mother is now the last of her siblings left, but she had a brother, agus I think either forced sé boss like as soon as he was born or like in the first year. But I was like always convinced in McCown that he was a gay uncle. I don't know why, but I was like convinced that he would have been the gay uncle and that would have helped loads. But anyway, he didn't, so I had to be the first.
I had as well in terms of, because obviously I came out when I was like like it was kind of a staggered kind of thing.
17,
so like
19.
17 through 19.
Yeah,
I would say.
there's a lot.
I don't remember, like I didn't have the like one heartstopper moment where I remember it happening at all. Like I can't tell you when it happened or where it happened. There's other little things I remember from it, but it was definitely a staggered thing over a couple of years. Yeah, there was that. Everything was in black and white back then. The Germans were flying overhead. It was a bad time. But my cousins, the twins, asked me kind of, I want to say maybe it was 3 years ago, sat up on my lap one day and was like, looked at me and was like, when are you going to pick your wife? And I was like, oh, okay.
There's so many things wrong with that.
I'm like, we're doing this now. I was like, first of all, we don't pick our partners, we don't pick wives. And I said, second of all, I'm not going to have a wife. He was like, what? I was like, no, I'm going to have a husband. He was like, a boy. Yeah. And he was like, and he went, and his eyes like tripled in size. He was like, can you do that? Right. And I was getting ready to, I think I might have told this story before, but I was starting to like give him some sort of age appropriate version of when people love each other, they can get married and that's okay.
Yeah.
His older sister, who like she would have been, I think she's 12 or 13 now, so she would have been maybe 9 at the time, but kind of like, a 9-year-old girl's real little know-it-all. Like they're really, actually kind of like Hermione Granger kind of
you
vibes.
were a 9-year-old girl.
I am perpetually a 9-year-old girl, like Igoni, right? But she went, actually we had a referendum about it in 2015 and now they can get married. And I was like, by the way, I was like, we learned about it in school. And I was like, what she said, I guess. She just rolled a referendum off her tongue at age 9. I was like, okay, well, all right then, let's go with that. I couldn't believe it. It was such a... I was just going to go into this kind of like, Bluey, Peppa the Pig style description of love and marriage, and she cut straight through me with like Vincent Brown. I was like,
who's the George?
All right then. Okay then. Fuck my drag.
I think though the family members. Well, first of all, great education system.
Slay,
but I just feel like that's not. She's in the minority, I'd say, of people who get that.
Yeah,
that's really impressive. And what about the family members? Like I know you reminded me of this, Ciarán. Forma Drehar Brunton is stum Cúpla Blino him. Basically, when I came out that Christmas, he got me a jumper. Oh my god,
this is my favorite thing.
Car crash television. Now the sentiment obviously is there.
Yeah,
fear de. It was cute as a concept. It was definitely from like Timu as well. Like he definitely just googled gay jumper, gay clothes, and it was this. It was this navy jumper with the word human written across it, but the letters had been superimposed over the Progress Pride flag. So it was human written in a Boabashta, a rainbow. And I remember, you know me, like I can't hide my emotions.
No.
The Mohicana air my eye on Tamar Fod. My face tells you what I'm feeling. And I opened it and I think it was Deshdeen, disgust on my face. I was like, thanks so much. And it was just a silent. And do you know what? Out of guilt, like Viestagum, I was never going to wear it. Dog may a in my juice. I'd say or fag Govleen. I kept it for 2 years. And then eventually I was like, I have to keep this at the charity shop. Like, I'm not wearing it. It's wasting space. Sentiments there, like Germila, but.
Did you ever wear it?
No. I think I put it on once and I was like, God.
Even as like a around the house?
No, because it wasn't even comfy. It was cheap.
Okay, yeah.
Like, obviously that wasn't on Tain Rud of a 4-shade dome. There was other presents in the box, but I just remember that. Also, that year my mom got me like these, do you know the face masks for your feet?
Yeah.
She got me that because it was a rainbow brand. Like she was mad horny for getting me like anything with a rainbow on it.
I have that down here as well.
Go on,
Is
Lanners.
No, just like kind of all to family members and rainbows when you come out.
Yeah.
Like I, as a gay man, I'm not into like rainbow things, I would say.
Yeah.
Like I love
Sorry,
colour.
you're saying that with your nails.
I
and
have
everything.
rainbow nails on today.
I'm not into the
But
rainbows.
like but what I mean is like I wouldn't wear like a t-shirt with rainbows on it. I like colour, but I don't like 7 of them at the one time. Or 6 of them at the one time, you know, and I think that's where like even all of the like Pride stuff and Pride collections and stuff in shops. I know we spoke about it before.
Minimal is better.
They're all shit because it's like it's just a plain white t-shirt with like a big massive loud rainbow logo on it, and it's like actually modern queerness is probably closer to like, you know, the color pink, I would say, is like
black.
you know, or and using things like that, or using kind of queer silhouettes or queer icons, or like I'd seen her a t-shirt with like picture of the front of the Stonewall or the George on the back of it.
Yeah, it's
That'd be cool.
Like a cunty George t-shirt, but not like rainbow, love, slay, fun, fashion. Where the fuck? Do you remember O'Neill's did that heinous collection
with
Kupla
with kimchi on the jersey, one of the drag queen from Drag Race, who they didn't ask permission for, and then she had to go in a lawsuit with them because they wouldn't get rid of it.
It was the cheap shit. It was like the shit that they tried to sell to kids at the Plough. You know those jerseys that just look like a crayon.
it's a cow on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the crayon got
Pig
sick
shit
on the
rotten.
jersey. But they got these ones, and it was like, first of all, it was like wasn't any donation to a charity. It was just like, let's slap a rainbow on a few jerseys and see if we can, you know, tempt them. But like I hate that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's always like this thing of rainbow. Like, I even remember for years, like my 2 cousins that I was telling you about with their twins, and for years I think they weren't really sure what was going on with me, but they knew something was up. And I remember they used to be like, Ciarán really likes rainbows. And I'm like, I wonder where they got that from.
Right, now ready is Aisha coming out. The mind boggles because there's so much that we talk about, lads, about coming out and the weird things that we have to do. And the list is probably very long, but from experience, Ciarán, Cathal on Rud is Aisha for you?
I'm going to say like I think before I did it, but even after I've done it, the reaction that I get from like film and TV that show it coming out. And I don't know whether it's because of I'm not happy with how I did it, or how I can see a better way of doing it, or how maybe that I'm grateful for the fact that mine went better than some of the ones I see on TV. But I find representations of coming out in the media just very impactful. Yeah. And there's a couple that like I really, really love. I think we're going to talk about 1 or 2 of them now. But like there's first one that springs to mind is Love, Simon.
Is that the movie or the TV show?
The movie.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So the movie at the time, again, it was a feature. It was a feature film. That feels like that was kind of ahead of its time almost in terms of when it came out. So the reason why I've picked this as the first one is that he gets outed, right? And then he has to tell his parents. But the coming out like doesn't go like perfectly. So his dad is like this real like macho guy, and he starts joking about it. He's like, "Which one of your girlfriends turned you gay?" Right? And then it's you kind of realize after, and then he goes outside and they're chatting away, and then as he's coming back in, you know, he's giving him a hug, tells him he loves him, and he goes, "I thought we could like, you know, join Grindr together."
Oh yeah, it's Queen of shit. I forgot. That was great writing.
Yeah. And Simon's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, it's just like Facebook for gay people." He's like, "It's not." But in Aisha, right, there's a gorgeous scene, and I think it's actually one of the like most impactful queer scenes I think in cinema, like full stop. So he has the scene with his mom, who's Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, it's proud of me.
And she says, when you were little, you were. I think this is something that I kind of resonated about, and we're going to chat a little bit about later on. Which she says, when you were little, you were so carefree, and then over the last couple of years, I watched you go into yourself. And then she says, which I think is this is one of the most important lines in the film, but I think just in queer cinema history in general, she says, she says something like, it was like you were holding your breath. And then she says, you get to exhale now, Simon. You get to be more you than you've been in a very long time. And I think that is just so, like the way she delivers the scene, the way the two of them do it, it's just in the living room. It's not tense, it's not screaming, but it's just like... Yeah. Oh, it's fearful. Like it's just really, really well represented and well done. I think I've watched a couple of interviews with Jennifer Garner over the years. It's one of the things that always gets brought back up to her, and it's really, really powerful. But that's something that I resonated with, that idea of like being this like fun, bubbly little kid that had to get tougher, had to get a bit quieter, and then go through that and then come back out the other side. But I just thought that was really nice. My second one obviously is Heartstopper. Like,
Oh, I love.
which I've never actually watched. So
we need to like.
I
it's-
think we're definitely gonna have to do like.
well, I've watched like one episode of it and I was like, no, this isn't for me. It's too
Yeah.
juvenile.
See, that's one of the things that I find interesting. I know a good few people watched it and they watched the first episode or two and they were like, oh, it's kind of like even like a CBBC kind of
It
vibe.
gave Glee to me.
Yeah, but what I find like groundbreaking about it is that it is a show for kids.
Yeah.
It is a show for kind of young
Teenagers, yeah.
teenagers. Yeah.
Big worry.
But they're discussing a topic that would have been scandalous, and the way that it's just like there's trans characters, there's gay characters, they're holding hands, they're talking about terminology. It doesn't feel forced. It's very cute. It's shot in that kind of Netflix way of it's very bright and colourful, and it's shot in the style of the manga kind of books or the kind of like the comic books that it was written on. It's so well made. But I think you're watching through it, and don't get me wrong, it is a kind of it's kiddish, but the actual core of it, I find it like I remember I watched that first season and I was inconsolable for days. Like I
Michelash,
sobbed.
I'm sorry.
I think no piece of media ever has had the effect on me that Heartstopper has had ever, because I looked at it and went, "That's the childhood I didn't have. I'll never have." And I should
Oh
have.
yeah,
had.
that's good.
If you watch it as a hard hitting piece of drama, it's not The Sopranos. But if you watch it with the nostalgic thing of this is what I missed out on because of the world that I was born in. It becomes
that's
a very
really good lens. I think that's why I didn't like it because this is so unrealistic. Life isn't like this.
Yeah.
Your man, the fucking I can't remember, is he rugby player?
Yeah.
And like the high school jock being the fag. I'm like, I don't know. I found it a bit too much and too unrealistic. But that is definitely from my own.
But
lived
the coming out
experience.
scene then I think is really funny. So Kit sits down, or Kit
With Olivia
O'Connor-
Colman, right?
Yeah,
I've seen
sits
that
down with Olivia
still.
Colman and having her in as the guest, the man for the first.
Everyone was
season.
like, gag.
Oh my God, £1 million signing, like unbelievable, right? But he just goes, hey, Charlie's my best friend. And she cuts straight, it's so mash, she cuts straight across him and goes, if you're going to ask if you can come on the holiday, you can't, because we've got the tickets booked.
That's your man.
Right, that's my duty. She's like, I think she says like, if you're going to ask me if you can come on the Menorca holiday, you can, because I've already got the tickets. Right? And then he goes, no. And she goes, and what I like about this is he comes in and says he's my boyfriend. So he kind of says he has a boyfriend first before actually identifying himself as bisexual or gay.
Yeah.
He ends up being bisexual.
The character's bisexual. Okay.
Yeah, but I found that interesting because it's like a lot of queer people feel like they have to qualify their coming out with a boyfriend. Like some people say, oh, I'm not going to come out, I don't have a boyfriend, I'm not coming out till I have a boyfriend. And, a lot of people do that and a lot of people still do that. But he qualifies it. So there's still the clear insecurity there. But obviously, in the midst of the show being so perfect and fluffy and all that kind of stuff. But it's what she says after this. So she throws her arms around it. She goes, and there's no acting going on, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, Kit O'Connor is coming out to Olivia Colman, and Olivia Colman starts crying, and he starts crying, and they hug each other.
Oh my God, I'm going to start crying.
It's not acting at all. It's two real people having a real reaction. There's tears in her eyes, and they're not acting tears. They're real, like she's losing her shit tears. She goes, oh, baby, which definitely wasn't in the script. And he throws her arms around and she says, thank you for telling me. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you couldn't tell me that. Which is like...
Girl.
We all feel that. Like, that's something that...
I think all our mums probably felt that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's just so like such a powerful scene. And I think it was so, like, again, it's a kiddish type of a show, but it's handling themes that would have been front page scandal in a way that's so normal. And how lucky are we to be able to sit here and go, God, a show about gay teenagers, how boring. It's not heavy enough for me. When every other piece of queer media before us is one of them getting stabbed or AIDS or one of those
Brokeback
things,
Mountain.
and there's someone dies in the end. We were always the dog, got shot in the end, and everyone was
Lassie.
crying. We were Lassie, right? It's such a signal of our progress that we're at the point now where we're pushing aside some forms of queer media because we're like, oh, that's kind of kiddish.
Yeah, true.
That's brilliant. And then one more little quick one before you go
on.
Right? Which is, again, this broke my fucking heart. It's not a coming out scene per se, but it's queer coding, right? Beauty and the Beast 2017, the live action. In the very, very last dance scene, LeFou, the end Beauty and the Beast, they're all dancing in the ballroom. LeFou, which is like Gaston's little sidekick, he switches from dancing with a girl to dancing with a boy. And it was the first time that an on-screen gay moment was ever depicted in a Disney film. The girls had to carry me out of the cinema when we watched it. I'm not messing, they'll remember. It was the Odeon in Blanchardstown. It was a drive-by. Because there was just
You weren't
this
expecting it.
complete... we hadn't even heard about it in the lead up to it, like in the promo media, nothing. And like he leans in and they dance and they just hold each other for like a second or two and then they go into that.
They dance away, yeah.
I like blubbed. Like Like, absolutely stopped.
LeFou is a great character.
Oh, stop! Like, but it was just, it completely caught me, like absolute drive by. But yeah, those are my three that I just think are, again, across the different spectrum. What have you got?
Calculor, yeah. I think I must watch the coming out scene from Heartstopper, but my coming out scene, which has like an uncontrollable effect on me still, is from Heated Rivalry. And there's two kind of halves of it that I want to talk about. Obviously, it's the gay hockey drama. The song that is played in the background, whenever that comes on, it just reduces me to tears. Even though it's not a sad song, it's just the associations I have with this piece of art medium in telly have affected me so much that it makes me blubber like a child. But Go Bunny Suck, agus Eats a Cottage, in, I think is it the second last episode, the last episode?
Yeah.
The two of them are kissing. The two of them are closeted, very famous sports hockey stars.
Yeah.
They're in a remote cabin that one of them owns to be themselves, to stop the facade of hiding who they are, to finally like just be with each other and be who they are. And they're kissing and it's such a beautiful scene. And then they're kissing and he looks up and sees his dad has walked in.
Oh yeah.
Erin Gato, she's that. Now this comes after the first one, but I'll go back to the first one. But like getting caught in the act was like the biggest fear of mine, even though I've never had a boyfriend when I was closeted, or whatever. But like getting caught watching porn or getting caught, anything, being gay at all. So like the gut punch that was, I was like, oh my God, this is, and it was quite simple. It wasn't overly dramatized. It was just lovely moment.
There was no screech, like it's on their kind of paint show. It was just like la 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 la, that
bang.
The music, like everything just stopped and you just see him through the kitchen window.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting and watching it in my living room and I actually went,
yeah, me too.
And I don't think I've ever actually done that.
No,
to
me neither.
Unless it was a football match on TV. But like films don't usually make me go, oh my God.
It brings you back in
I
the room,
actually went,
the only time I've ever done that to a TV show is when Kylie Sonique Love tripped in the final lip sync of All Stars and it turned into a tumble and I was like, but and then nothing happens. There is, and I think we were expecting like, oh my God, what happens next? This is the worst possible thing that could happen. And then he just turns around and leaves in there.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, that's actually way worse than what I thought was the worst thing.
Yeah.
And then they obviously have a coming out conversation afterwards, the four of them, the two parents, him and his boyfriend. And it's actually really lovely. But the real scene in Heated Rivalry that really gets me is the one I mentioned with that song, I Deserve Sunshine.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it actually, but that's the chorus. And it's all over TikTok. It's what everyone's using for Pride Month. And every time it comes on, I cry and I'm like, oh my God, this is so good.
I can hear it in my ears now and I'm like, oh no.
And the way it's filmed, so it's like your man who isn't one of the two main characters, but is also a gay hockey star, is like just won, I don't know, is it Nationals? I don't know what they call it that.
Yeah.
And he's being he's the captain of the team, he's being presented.
Glee reference.
All the other players' girlfriends are coming onto the rink and like cheering him on, and he's looking up at his boyfriend who he's been hiding for a year.
Yeah.
And he's like, you just see the switch click and he's like, okay, come down. And then it's a really, really long, drawn out scene of the boyfriend making his way through the crowd, getting into the ice rink,
it's
coming
so
over
long,
and kissing him. But the music is coming and then the crescendo happens. You've got the two main characters watching the telly, realizing what's happening, being like, oh my God, like there's someone like
the
us.
constant cut between the two of them.
Oh my God. I'm like,
but like, it's funny that you mentioned, I'd only click on you now, that scene, it's almost awkward length how long it takes him to get across the ice and your man's fighting into the crowd, which makes it feel very real. Like it's not Disney-fied at all.
It was, and I'm like, I bawled crying the whole way through that scene because I was like, I know what's coming. This is such good TV writing. The music is so good. Everything is so good. The cut betweens, just the emotion of the two closeted players watching it, one with all of his friends, one with his parents, realizing what's happening and realizing the hope of like, wow, like someone else has done it. I can do it. Oh, but it was so good. And it was, I think, as gay footballers in the GA world, like it is a type of representation. I think the queer space is becoming a bit saturated in some ways. But this is a story that I feel like hasn't been told before, and I really related to it. And I was like, wow, this is, obviously I'm glad I didn't have to go through the horror that they did, but I'm also like, God, I love this for them.
What have you got for this, Carl?
So you both spoke about, I suppose, TV and film that affected you after you came out. So later in life. Mine is from EastEnders.
Unreal.
So Nervime Madegor, I love the soaps. Give me all the subtle drama. EastEnders was my main one, but Gavi less than me. So like 2009, we made Aimvleen Dig Dish. I was 11. And Viescom Tom Airok, I knew when I was like 10 that I was gay. But I could never really come to terms with the fact that that was what I was. Yeah. Like I was like, I know men are attractive and whatever. But on Bhliain Céine, Hánig on Teilech Nua go Albert Square. Albert Square is the place in EastEnders, if you don't know. I knew you
I don't.
Yeah. So a family came out and they were called the Masouds or whatever. And
Oh, okay. That wasn't the one I was thinking you were going for.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay.
so before long, Saeed, their son, they're a very strict Muslim family.
Yeah.
Saeed starts having an affair with Christian, one of the local boys, who is Jane Beale's brother.
Yes.
And you know John Partridge. Do you know that clip of Gemma Collins in Celebrity Big Brother? And she's
Oh,
like,
yeah, you're
You're
obsessed
obsessed with me. That's John Partridge. That's Christian. Dibrig Sheed Lakela Savilon O'Toole, the RG Badgie. Like, what an iconic name for
I wouldn't eat in a restaurant called the RG
The
Badgie.
RG Badgie.
There'd be slugs all over that fish tank.
But anyway, they start an affair, and initially Saeed's kind of like very like much, this can't go any further, whatever. But you're kind of
Saeed's the
what?
dad.
Saeed's the son. And
Having an affair. Oh, the other guy's having an affair.
yeah.
Bit of a ride as well, by the way.
So, well, before long, you kind of realize that there's a girl that he's going to be wed to, because
Saeed.
yeah, Muslim household, the whole lot, the arranged marriage, and her name was Amira. But after months of them having the affair and Amira coming to town and then being set up, the wedding day lands, and it's Cuivinlum a law banish, like it was yesterday. It was crazy. So before the wedding, Christian goes to Zainab, who is Saeed's mother, and is like, your son is gay.
Yeah.
He outs him to his
Great scene.
mother. And then Tarishin,
Zainab.
Zainab is
Iconic bitch, by the way.
she grabs Saeed and meets with him in their house upstairs or whatever, and is like, Christian has told me all this, like, and he's like, don't believe him. He's like, he's lying, whatever. And she starts to go, oh yeah, typical gay man, like lying, all this, that, and the other. And she goes really in on him, really heavy.
Yeah.
And Saeed goes, don't talk about him like that. And then it clicks in her head.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you are gay. You're telling a lie. But he marries Amira and he goes on with his life and has a child and comes back to Christian. There's all this, that, and the other. But all through this, you see his parents treating him, saying, you're foolish. You're not a man. You're not stepping up to the plate. You're not marrying this woman.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, and for me, that was at 11 years old, I was like, oh my God, like, Bishkeblan Vosherm, like, I am, the fear of God is in me. I'm never going to do this. But it's just interesting to have been on that side of, I suppose, John Partridge, who's Christian. Both my boyfriends, like, I don't really care if they hear this or not, weren't out of the closet when I got with them.
Very common.
And I suppose for a lot of people that is common in the gay community, but not until you're in the situation do you understand how hard it is.
Yeah.
Like, it was my first boyfriend, it was like 6 months of hiding and running around and wanting to say these things, and you're like, you can come to my house and hang out with my family, but I can't do that in yours.
They kind of play on that in Heated Rivalry as well, don't they? Like, and I think that's maybe something they're going to explore a little bit more, maybe in the second season. But that idea of the kind of, like, not unrequited, but like this idea of someone being out and someone not being out, and then you being almost like their dirty little secret.
And you never want to be that either. You're
No,
like,
of course
and you're
not.
like, oh, I have way more self-respect for myself than that. But in the moment and in the time, you're like, but I have a lot of feelings for this person. Anyway, Dinesh May, like Mulbraig, I started telling loads of lies and hiding my sexuality for how many more years? 8. But I think watching that really affected me coming out.
I think, though, on the topic of all gay representation in the media, and especially in coming out scenes, I think we've come a long way. Like what you said, that one is closeted, one is not. That's the whole premise of the coming out scene I just talked about. When he comes down, he's finally showing to the world someone who's been his dirty little secret. But I think a lot of the early representation of gay on screen is something I have such a problem with, because it was the two-dimensional side character that people laughed at, or it was like a trauma character of like, oh, he's going to die of AIDS, or he's been rejected by his family. And I think we're actually in a good place-ish now where the on-screen representation is a bit more joyful, so young kids can see a future instead of being like, this is the negative consequence of coming out.
Period.
I have a couple of quick honourable mentions. Kurt coming out to his dad in Glee.
Oh yeah, that's so
He says, being a part of the Glee Club and football has really showed me that I can be anything, and what I am is gay.
Yeah.
Bert replies, I know, I've known since you were 3. All you wanted for your birthday was a pair of sensible heels. I guess I'm not totally in love with the idea, but if that's who you are, there's nothing I can do about it, and I love you just as much.
What a great dad.
That was a great scene.
Do you remember when Finn like goes crazy about when they have to share a room and then he comes in and like saves the day?
Yeah.
He was
Great
a
dad.
great TV dad. Like
Oguli, yeah.
great TV dad.
Callie Torres in Grey's Anatomy, when
Oh,
her
yeah.
dad comes and tries to like
Yeah.
bring the priest, and she's like, "You think you can pray away the gay? You can't pray away the gay." August on Count Darnock, Claire in Derry Girls, which says,
What a mess this scene is.
"Aaron, I'm the wee lesbian." I'm not joking. It's like, you're a lesbian. Catch yourself on, Claire.
She's like, I'm not gonna get with you.
And then what did she say? Yeah, she
She's
says,
just, I don't want to get with you. Look at the stadium.
"I've never been brave enough to say it out loud before, but I think that's why I wrote the story." And then it all got too real. I got too scared, but well, you made me realize it's all okay. Don't blame me. You fancy girls. And then it's like, well, that's sort of an entry level requirement, Aaron.
Such good writing, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Lisa McGee, Queen. There's a few great ones in there, lads. You like girls?
Oh God.
Right, on Rud is Jackra, the hardest part of today's episode, the best things about coming out. Now, Ruddy is inty. So for this, Captain Gomeg sé glóte like to, I suppose, tá mar rud é go raibh sibh comhairle hort dit hain. If you were to give yourself advice before you came out.
It feels like Drag Race. What would you say to little Ciarán?
Hold up the photo.
And and you know what? Them eps are great. I
Yeah.
kind of love them as well. Will I kick off, I suppose,
Go on.
seeing as I'm in the hot
Grab
seat
the
of
Kleenex,
hosting.
girls.
I suppose yourselves, I've wrote a little bit of a letter to myself. Your whole life is about to change for the better. Your stress will go, and so too will your acne. Ronan doesn't care that you're gay, so stop hiding your Grindr app on your phone. The differ agus the cara, they are your gal pals you need for the rest of your life, so stop shutting them out. No be ag tuair amach le wam. She loves you. She just wants what's best for you. Agus be a kind le the ad. Tá cadrh ionta agus leis. Just don't be afraid to put up your end of the bargain. Kissing boys is a lot of fun, but be cuarmach. What seems like a fun idea now might be the wrong move. And there's a really cute boy waiting for you in your late 20s. No be a chagla three of wind os rodega nua. Don't be afraid to try new things. If someone calls your clothes or your hair or anything else gay, that's great. Because being gay is great. Agus no de dharma there, kid.
Very cute. Very cute.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Do you want to go, Ciarán?
I've approached this differently.
Oh no, I think mine's. I don't know. I think I'll be fine. Okay. Right. So mine is called "I'll See You Soon."
Oh,
Okay.
God, here we go.
You're going to realize from about 4 or 5 that you're not like the other kids around you, and you don't know why. People treat you differently. People will comment on your sensitivity, your bubbly personality, and criticize how you act when you're just a child, and you won't know why. You'll know all of the Spice Girls dance routines and dance around your living room until you start to realize there's a problem. You figure out that being quieter and more of a man is what people really want from you. But you won't know how to do that. This early introduction to failure will force you to grow up more quickly. You'll always feel older than everyone around you. You'll start reading, and over the years, it'll become your safe space. Harry Potter, Alex Rider, and Percy Jackson will allow you to escape from your world, which doesn't understand you, into their world, which doesn't understand them. When you go to school, you'll start to hear words you haven't heard before, and you'll be told again that being loud or girly is a bad thing. The bullying starts. They'll call you Ciarán or a faggot. You're not really sure why being gay is so bad, but you know it definitely is really bad. Spoiler alert, you're wrong about this. Despite always having friends and family around you, you'll always feel on your own, like you're holding yourself back. You start to retreat into yourself and wonder if you'll wake up one morning and it'll go away. It doesn't. Girls are the number one topic of conversation. You try to join in, but it just doesn't feel right. You don't get it. You know what the problem is now, but you know it isn't safe to address it and come out. And you're right, it isn't. You don't know any real gay people. They're only annoying TV characters or words used to insult people. Normal, smart people aren't actually gay. You're also wrong about this. You try harder to fit in, nothing works. You'll reach a breaking point one night when you're 16 and you'll come out anonymously on the radio. You can barely breathe as you finally whisper on the phone upstairs in your house while your parents are downstairs thinking you're studying for your leaving cert. You never tell anyone you've done it. You decide to wait until you go to college. You tell your friends and family. It's a mixed response, but you've done it now. Distance will open up between you and your family. You assume this is why, so you throw yourself into your new life in UCD. It's a good distraction. You're out now. You still don't feel like you have all the answers, and you'll still feel like an outsider at different points in your life. But you get better at recognizing and fighting these thoughts. You accept that this might just be a feeling that never leaves you. You'll wish now that you'd done it all much earlier, that you'd taken all of those people on, that you could have told your granny before she died, and that you'd had the knowledge then that you do now that it'll all work out. You'll get so angry at yourself for not being brave enough, for missing out on such important years and experiences that everyone else around you had. And you'll always wonder what it would have been like if you'd done things differently. But you have to remember that you did your best. You found your way through in the end, and it all worked out. No matter how lonely or sad or insignificant you feel now, just know that I forgive you. You're going to become unstoppable, and I'll see you soon. P.S. I've got some really bad news about J.K. Rowling.
I should have gone first.
Jesus Christ, Ciarán!
Oh. Sorry, Percy Jackson. Fucking Ian.
We're all crying and hugging right now.
Okay, so I actually didn't write this as a
Sorry,
letter
but
to
mine was
myself.
so long. I wasn't sure when I just kept going and going.
Jesus Christ, Ciarán. What the hell?
Oh, lads.
I was meant to write a letter to myself, but then I think 3 people in the last 2 weeks have told me that they're not actually out. And it made me realise that like this isn't for me, this is for other people. Sorry, not
Sorry, I'm just...
No, but I'm just so this is more for the
Someone
general listeners, kind of from my point of view.
It's go up here.
Don't start me off again, Cian. Come on.
So I think the realization as a child that you are gay, when it finally hits in your head, is the most crushing feeling you'll ever experience as a child. And like, I used to cry myself to sleep, begging to a God I don't believe in, praying to wake up straight or not to wake up, and to actually take a step back from that and to be like, a child having that feeling is heartbreaking. And that is purely because of society. Shame is learned in mass, in school, on telly, and shame was instilled in us growing up as children, which took so many years to unlearn, like that shame, to find self-love and happiness. And that's why I think representation, pride, coming out is so important. And obviously coming out is terrifying, no matter what age you are, because it isn't just teenagers. People that we know have come out in their 30s and their 40s, because there are still negative consequences. There's still people who would rather live lives of crushing loneliness and suppress who they are or kill themselves out of fear. And I think even in 2026, that fear is justified because how people are still treated. Kids are still disowned or thrown out by the people who are meant to protect them. Trans people are treated like shite. Drag artists are called paedophiles. Queer people are abused, beaten, murdered. Homosexuality is still illegal in 63 countries. Suicide rates among queer youth disproportionately higher, still rising, and it feels like we're going backwards. And my point is, coming out still feels as scary as it ever was for people, as unsafe as it ever was. But on the other side of that fear is the rest of your life. Like, coming out was the best decision I ever made. It was really hard, but I don't regret it. I don't know a single gay person who regrets coming out. All of the best moments in my life, Nigel Erica, marching in Pride, dancing in gay bars. Oh my God, here we go. Dancing in gay bars or in a fucking field with my gay friends at a festival, like, are the best moments of my life. And coming out was a switch flick that unlocked that new world and all those new friends. And I think, I think as a child, you feel so different and othered and not good enough and not accepted. But like, to my younger self and to anyone listening, there are so many people you've yet to meet who will love you so, so much just for who you are. And for your inner child who thought they'd never be accepted or loved or even make it to adulthood. I think that feeling is so powerful, and that comes when you accept yourself. And like, to go from crying myself to sleep with fear, praying to be anything, even dead, over being gay, to now feeling like lucky and privilege is like, I'm lucky to be this way, I'm privileged, is so special. And like, obviously being gay isn't a choice, but honestly, if it was, I would choose it 10 times over. I seen a quote like, I hope I'm gay in every lifetime. And honestly, I hope I am, because it's the biggest blessing of my life. And if you're listening to this, trying to build up the courage to come out, or you're questioning your identity, or you're not ready to come out, that's okay. Just come out when you are, because despite what society tells you, you deserve love and acceptance and happiness and sunshine, and it's all coming. Just wait. I got through that better than I thought I would.
Oh
But,
my
like,
God.
give me a hug.
Oh, I'm gonna go over. Give me a hug. Oh Christ.
We all need hugs today. The waterworks are on here in Headstuff HQ.
Say that into the mic. I
Christ, lads, please help me.
Oh my God. What a day. Right, let me dry myself off.
But honestly, like,
Honestly, yeah.
how lucky. I remember saying this to you at Pride last year. I remember saying to you, we were like,
Oh, yeah.
I was fucks drunk. Trixie Mattel was on stage, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
And I leaned into you and Keen Conroy and I was like, oh God, like look around, we're so lucky to be gay. And I remember Heather overheard me and burst out crying.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm so happy you feel that way. Because I know it took you so long to get here. And I was like, oh my God, that was an epiphany for me. I was like, oh my God, she's so right. This is a huge moment for me that I'm like, I'm so happy I'm gay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was a very cute section. Do you know, we're not just a sex podcast, lads. We have a bit of emotion in us.
Not a word of Guelg in that though.
Not our mine. Sorry if you were looking for any Guelga today, or that we were too emotional.
Cargalore lads, and Infinity 5 Fuckle. After all those tears, it's time to give our listeners a little piece of advice that isn't.
That advice not good enough.
Which is, well, in
5 words to tell your 5,000 words.
Yeah. Instead of 5 pages, give me 5 words for this
Cargalore.
me broad.
Yeah.
I'll kick off, because why not? Anin Queero Gela.
Yes.
It takes
very
a
good.
queer
Coined by King Griffin.
Yeah. Well,
That was the first ever post on Gaelgory in 2017.
Was it?
you'd want to know where I found it.
Where?
On your page.
Oh, did you?
I suppose it spoke to me today because I was like, find your tribe and talk to them. If you're, I suppose, in that space of wanting to talk to someone about your sexuality and you don't feel like you can do it to your friends, find someone who's maybe gay as well and they might help you out. Right, Cian, what are you saying?
Be fucking dealish dit hain. Like, stay true to you. Like I said, at the end of the day, your life changes when you accept yourself, not when anyone else does. Your family might not accept you. Sorry. There's a chosen family out there waiting for you. As like RuPaul's quote is, queer people, we get to choose our families. Honestly, like, some people get to have both, a blood family and their gay family.
Yeah.
Some people only get one. Both are as good. So yeah, you'll be grand.
Absolutely. Mine is to my younger self and also to all my divas in the closet, all my divas that are still figuring things out. And it's very simply, Fecha me Hugalua. I'll see you soon.
Oh, cute.
Ciarán.
Oh!
If you want to know how great this is, take a scroll through any of our Instagrams, see the mad shit that we get up to, the festivals that we go to, the opportunities that we've had playing from the Gay Lyric, doing this podcast. Like, these are the kind of things you do with your tribe when you find them. You'll find the people that you were supposed to be with from the very beginning. And even though the world was hard to you when you were a child, I think I said this before, the phrase "it gets better" doesn't really resonate with me. I don't think it gets better. I think you get better. I think you get stronger. I think you get better able to deal with it. The world doesn't get any less hard. You just continually get stronger and better able to deal with it. So if you're not feeling that now and you're looking at how bad the world is right now and you're going, well, it's not going to get better, you're right. But you're going to get much stronger and you're going to get better at dealing with it. And girl, we'll see you soon.
Dear occasion, that's right. Let's close this thing. Right, Sinead, for this week's episode of Galen, Gurv Magat for listening to Sulagum Gurvinshiv Tatnavas. We love making Galen and we do put a lot of work into it. So we would really appreciate if you took a little trip over to Spotify, no Apple Podcasts, and left us a comment and 5 stars.
After all that, we're pouring our fucking hearts out to you today. I'm expecting to see a few 5 stars on Spotify, right?
Some of our, I suppose, hotties in the shocks now, I don't know. This week, people we want to give a little poke to are Lauren Marr, McGraw, Machara, I love you. Grace Kennedy, who we got a lovely email off recently.
Yes, Grace, screw me in the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit, I have to respond to her DM.
August Gloria, we got a little text off her saying she was wearing her clada in the US and listening to us. So,
And
Who's the guy at Hoopla? We'll give him another shout.
And Niall.
Niall from
somewhere up the north. I can't remember
somewhere
where.
up the north. Anyway,
And Simon, who thought last week's episode was a fucking strap. Well, it's too late now. You're probably blubbering.
love you, Si. So like Gloria, if you want to get in touch with us, you can find us on Instagram at Galen Podcast or email us at galenpodcast@gmail.com and drop us a comment on TikTok too while you're over there. Sorry, I was trying to laugh. Happy Pride. To help Ciarán and Cian get the right text Gnace to 57557. We'll be back on Chocolate Shogun on headstuffpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want another one, keep an eye on the bonus on Friday for something's coming out. Leave insert or something.
Yes.
Anyway, lads, slán!
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.